Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. This is another paid request, this time for Jackal Gold Kit. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Vampire Journals from 1997, which I didn't know what this was, but Full Moon Entertainment had done these movies called the Subspecies movies, which I think they were all the same director, and they dealt with this vampire named Radu, and they're Full Moon Entertainment, kind of some of the films that people seem to like a bit more than others. And yeah, I think there were 4 of them, but in between the 3rd and the 4th one, there's this movie, which was a spinoff. And doesn't have the villain Radu. Instead has some new characters. Zachary, who's this vampire who hunts other vampires. You do have this character Ash, who I think was a vampire in some of these Subspecies films. I've never seen them. I've seen bits and pieces, clips. They just don't seem like my cup of tea. But Full Moon Entertainment, a lot of those movies aren't my cup of tea. I mean, I like Doll Man. I like the first couple Transfer movies. I like some of the Puppet Master movies. This is a time when they were shooting more in Hungary because it was a lot cheaper there. So a lot of productions at this time would be in Hungary. Now, great, it fits here with the Gothic style of the vampires, and it's supposed to take place in Romania, so it kind of fits in this regard. The acting at best is okay, is average. Zachary narrates a lot about how much it sucks being a vampire, and the director does a decent job establishing a gothic feel to it, with the way the costumes and some of the settings look. You get a little bit of excitement at the beginning where he has a dream of this girl got bit, and so he stabbed the vampire and decapitated the vampire. Decent gory effect. Now he's looking for this vampire named Ash. Not Ash Housewares, I mean, not different Ash. And Ash is his vampire that runs this brothel, but is also a casino, and he has a lot of other vampires under his belt. He wants this girl named Sophia. Like I said, he owns this casino brothel. And Zachary really likes to take his time and to try to kill these other vampires. And if you're hoping for an exciting movie, if you're hoping for an action-packed movie, if you're hoping for what you think the rest would be a gory movie after that opening, keep dreaming. Because this one is a pretty slow, pretty boring movie. I don't know if I would say this is a rant. I've seen much worse movies and much worse vampire films. As I said, the acting is average. The setting, I think they used the Hungary locations well enough. It's definitely dialogue trying to be a bit more operatic and that gothic vampire feel. Although you do get lines of dialogue like, "Sorry, sir, it's a private club." "That's alright. I'm a private man." I'm like, okay. Or there's a bit where Zachary, he needs to feed, so he bites this girl in the arm while she's sleeping. So she wakes up, and of course she's scared, but he goes, "Fear not, child. I will not harm you." I'm like, biting her on the arm and sucking her blood is a bit harming her, but okay, dude. I don't know, it's one of those things you can't feed on animals or something. But again, when you bite a chick on the arm and suck her blood, then you're telling her, "Hey, I'm not going to harm you." Again, when you bite my arm and suck on the blood in my arm, you kind of already harmed me, asshole. I keep repeating myself, it does have the gothic atmosphere, but it does move fairly slowly. The guy Ash definitely has the crazy wild hair, looks like an 80s music video type of hair. But he's not awful. There's a bit where the guy passed out, and he tells the guy, remove your head from the bar and put on some evening clothes. And it's pretty much Ash wanting this girl Sophia, who plays the piano, invites her to this casino brothel to play the piano, and then day after day bites her little by little to try and get her to come to his side, come to the dark side, all that stuff. Ash takes his fucking sweet ass time. He definitely doesn't come off as a fucking badass. I mean, a year later, you have Blade in 1998, and Blade would kick the shit out of every fucking vampire in this movie with his sunglasses on and probably his eyes closed as well. So, it kind of makes you go, what was the point of this at the end of the day? Because it's not really scary, it's not creepy. There's a little bit where the vampires go on a hunt and they kill a guy, but it's not, too violent. Ash is dealing with some people in his regime seem like they may want to stab him in the back. Maybe not physically, but, fuck him over. Zachary wants to kill his vampire because your cursed bloodline is what helped spawn me. And I killed my master, and I'm trying to kill everybody from his bloodline, you're included. It's not until much later on where you get a little bit more blood. Spoiler alert. Going into spoilers now. Spoilers. Where this is guy who Ash keeps getting pissed off at. And he goes, your cowardice is a danger to us all, and cuts the guy's head off. And then takes the head and puts it in the fire to burn. That's a decent effect. That was a pretty decent one. And they invite Zachary in and pretty much tell Zachary, listen, you're going to lose. You're a pussy. You know what? You can't beat us. I'm going to gift you a woman. You'd have this woman to feed on. Embellish yourself. And so Zachary does, for some reason, and starts feeding on this lady. So then Ash shows Sophia, hey, look at this asshole. Look at Zachary. Look, he's feeding on this girl. He's got blood on his face. Look how much of a piece of shit he is. Afterwards, Sophia is horrified that this guy who she thought was nice was feeding on this woman. That's what made me go, Zachary's kind of shitty at his job. If he wants to kill these fucking vampires, he's really shitty at his job. So you have this one lady who looks like she's ready to sell you real estate. She doesn't like what Ash is doing, so she betrays Ash, gets Zachary out. And you get, I guess, a little bit of action. And this is spoilers. There's this one vampire, Zachary grabs the guy and twists his head. It kind of twists it in a 360 to kill him. He gets in a fight with a vampire lady. And this is at this point that, you know what this made me think of? It made me think of a pilot of a TV show. I don't know if it's the production value, like the fight where she's trying to kill him, this vampire lady, and he's blocking. It seems like something that would be on a TV show. Now with a little bit of the violence, maybe a TV show on cable. But just, it came off like a pilot of a TV show. And then after this, it's going to be, you know, this vampires and now this lady, and they're both in this endless nightmare, and they're going to go kill this bloodline. They go from A to B to C across the country and across the world, and vampire channels coming soon to UPN or wherever the hell. Maybe not UPN. It's got a little bit more, you know, blood and nudity for that, but like it's nothing extravagant. Taste of a fight, pretty much a few blocks, and then impales the lady, stabs the lady, vampire. And then the fight with Ash is really fucking lame. It was really lame and really lackadaisical because Ash is horrified. He runs away. Zachary, the sun's now out, and Ash like, ah. So Zachary gets his sword, hits him. Ash falls off a banister to the ground, and immediately, poof, fire, smoke, poof, gone. I'm like, that's it? That's it? That's all it took for Ash? Like, it's not even like a grandiose death, like a stab, and a slow-mo, and cutting the head off, and make it grandiose, and this is the vampire of the movie, the lead bad guy vampire, or stabbing him, and he like goes through this metamorphosis of the sun, where like his pieces of his body is burning, and this big old burning fire. Like, look at Fright Night Part 2, where the lead or Fright Night Part 1, with the way those vampires got killed at the end. Whether it's Part 2 with Roddy McDowell with the piece of glass and the sunbeam burning her up, the whole body on fire, gets to the coffin, which is littered with wafers and a cross, big explosion. Of the way Fright Night 1 ended, or Jared Danders blasted all the way back to the wall, big explosion. No, it was just really lame way to end this fucking final battle. I guess really for a vampire hunter, he killed 4 vampires. One in a dream, which I guess was his master from long ago. The guy who he twisted. Girl she stabbed, and this. And really not that exciting, not that thrilling. And it ends with Zachary gets Sophia, and they're both huffing and puffing, hiding from the sun, and he narrates about how her life is like mine. We will be in an endless nightmare. And then the movie's over, and you go, great. So he failed in protecting Sophia. He killed Ash in a very lame, lackadaisical way. Didn't feel epic at all. There's no big effect sequence or anything of the sort. Not even like a big fight or sword fight where Ash and him did like this sword fight back and forth. It could have been like a big back and forth sword fight. It really wasn't. So it just came off as really lame and really just what the fuck. So I mean, like I said, the acting is average. The look of the film, the way the sets and the costumes are used are decent enough. I just don't really know what you're supposed to get out of this. Because it's not exciting, it's not thrilling, it's got, you know, a couple decapitations for gore. Although there's tons of movies you to watch for that. It's fairly slow moving. I guess if you need a vampire movie and you need to see every single one, okay. The characters aren't, you know, that interesting. And Zachary kind of comes off as a puss. Ash, I mean, he's okay, but really big 80s heavy metal hair. At least, I mean, at least the acting wasn't bad, and the production value for its low budget kind of works for what it's trying to do. But other than that, I thought it was a pretty boring movie. It wasn't anything that made me mad. It kind of just went, eh. I like the poster that I'll put over here. I like the poster. I think that's better than the movie. But I just, I mean, I would say it was trying to go capitalize on Interview with a Vampire, but that film was like 94 and this was 97, so I don't know if that would really be the case. Because that'd be quite a few years in between. But I heard they was supposed to come out in 96, and then some delay made it so it was 97. So I don't know, maybe. Maybe someone saw Interview with a Vampire and said, yeah, Vampire Journals. I don't know why it's called Vampire Journals. No one even writes in a fucking journal in this movie. Now that I think about it, why is it called the Vampire Journals? There's not a fucking journal in this movie to be seen. Now that I think about it. There's no fucking journals. There's no fucking, fucking writing and shit, So why is it called that? I guess you could say his narration equals a journal. Fucking, whiny emo fucking narration. Be a vampire's the worst thing ever. Okay, well what's so horrible about it? I'm not going to tell you why it's so horrible being a vampire, but it's so horrible being a vampire. I don't even know in this universe if they're able to eat other animals. Are they able to drink the blood of animals? Or are they not? Is there any positives of being a vampire? I guess not. Okay, it's horrible, but why you say it's so horrible? You keep saying it's so horrible. I just, we could assume, of course, being a vampire, But whatever. It's just that there's so many other vampire movies out there. My favorites would be From Dusk Till Dawn, the original Fright Night. I like Fright Night Part 2. I even like John Carpenter's Vampires. The Lost Boys. But anyway. It is what it is. It's a full moon film. What can you do? So, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.